Hi folks, thank you so much for downloading this episode of a work in progress D&D podcast, a creative experiment of sorts. I'd like to mention that this podcast is not for children. Now, why don't we jump into this adventure? Hi folks, before we jump into this lovely bonus episode, I just want to say that I was a little sniffly, so there might be some sniffles in this episode that I was not able to edit out without completely messing up or deleting sections of audio. So, sorry about that. Hope you enjoy. Hi, folks. Welcome back to this second bonus episode of our podcast. And in this bonus episode, we have the lovely Alli St. John.
Me. It's me.
It's her.
I'm back.
And she is playing
Basheer, the druid half-orc.
Yes, we're very excited to have her back for episode 2 of the bonus content that we're making for the podcast. Well, why don't we just jump right into this episode? Let's go. All right, let's start with a little recap. In our last bonus episode, we were introduced to the Yellow Duchy and how it is a duchy that focuses a lot of animal husbandry, and in particular herding, or at least our character of this episode is Basheer, the half-orc, who is a goat herder, and apparently during the lunchtime of their shift, the one rather troublesome goat, Migu, had run off. And so Basheer gave chase and eventually led them to the top of this hill with these sort of rocky outcroppings, where they then discovered that there was a trap door on top of this hill. And opening it up, descended into this apparently ancient giant's tower that somehow had become buried. While exploring down, they went through a big old door that led them into a giant library, and they met a little Behir, which is a sort of serpentine, multi-legged, crocodilian, horned creature that we're calling Venn, since that is the giant word for friend. And as they learn there's more stuff below, Basheer, Venn, and Migu have headed off down further into this strange giant tower. So, that is where we left off and where we begin. So, Alli, playing Basheer, you are traveling down these massive steps still, and you have a little bit of fire elemental light to kind of guide your path. And as you're kind of doing that, you see Venn is looking at it and kind of points at it and says, Ild, or ILD, pointing at the little mote of fire in your hand.
Ild. Fire. Fire.
Ild.
Ild. I'm learning to speak giant.
Meh.
Okay, Migu.
And kind of as you're kind of going down, kind of points out a couple other things on your person as you just kind of like taking this moment to like really look at you while you're going down, and kind of points at the shield on your back and says Skold, SKOLD.
Gold shield.
Mm-hmm. And as you eventually get down, you come into what looks like another big archway leading to a large open room, or at least what you can see of it with the light in your palm, and your dark vision is able to kind of see. It's a big room, so you can't see it. Everything does get a little bit darker beyond your range. But as you're kind of looking around, you hear scratching on the wall next to you. You turn around and you see Venn's there trying to scratch at this sort of, it looks like a wheel of some sort. And Venn is like pointing at it, and it says Stig, STIG. is like trying to like do something with it, but he isn't quite able to grab on and supposedly turn it.
I walk on over and I give it a big old crank.
As you turn it, you see the rune in the center of it starts to like light up a little bit, and all this sort of light and energy starts to like reverberate and across and around the walls, sort of lighting up this whole area. And it is this large, strange laboratory of sorts. In particular, light shoots through these 3 massive cylindrical glass tubes or pods. They seem to be full of liquid of some sort. And then that light goes down and also lights from underneath this large circular pool in the center, but it seems to have like a shine of the same glass. So it seems like there are these 3 large cylinders that sort of, not so much in a circle, but there's a like pool in the center with glass over top of it. And sort of strange other metal tubing that goes into and the above and below, like seems to go into the these glass tubes of sort. As it kind of or around the strange glass pool in the center.
I like to draw pictures so that I can kind of get a visual, and it kind of looks like I did some very poorly drawn spiders.
They do kind of look like very funky looking spiders.
Insects of some kind. But they're cylindrical columns with the tubes from the top and the bottom, but they just kind of look like really funky insects.
It's great. I love it. And so with that, let me just roll a dice here real quick. Okay. Anything you'd like to kind of check out in this room? Or you can see there is another archway that seems to lead farther down, but in terms of the room here, it's these 3 large circular glass cylinders and then the circle in the center as well.
Great. I'd like to go investigate these cylinders.
Yeah. As you get closer to these strange glass structures with the eerie light that kind of emanates from them, you watch as you get too close to one of them, and you can see shifting through the glass itself are these giant runes that you've seen before. All different kinds. They're all sort of, they're very like fluid looking. They're sort of curved, and some have straight lines, but a lot of them are curves and various sort of swirls and things. And as you're kind of looking at it, Venn kind of comes over and like points at the one for fire, the one for friend, at least the ones that he's told you that you recognize. He points at, let's see, I think I gave you that. There's like I think I gave you this giant runic alphabet thing.
Yeah, let me find it.
Okay. Yeah, so Ild is kind of like this in the thing I sent you, the top row, all the way at the end is friend, and then Ild is the one just before that.
Let me see if I can open this so that I can edit it, because I can't.
Oh, you can't?
Do anything with it, and you blocked out all the...
Yeah, because I was trying to be,
Oh, wait, okay, I got it.
Okay. Oh.
And just fill it all in for me.
Oh, cool. All right. Then... Well,
thanks,
so much for trying to be mysterious.
Sorry, I got it all now.
It's all good, but okay. So Venn goes through and tells you what these runes are. So blood is blood, sky is cloud, and you see basically before you, as Venn is telling you, and we were gonna maybe do a little have you try and figure out what they all meant, but I guess
It's probably for the best. My brain power is low today.
That's fair. But yes. One thing I'll say when he tells you and you kind of learn all these words, the 6 of these runes in particular, the storm rune, the stone rune, the frost rune, the fire rune. Oh, no, sorry. Storm, cloud, stone, frost, fire, and hill runes.
Storm, stone, frost, fire, cloud, hill.
Yeah, the cloud should be in between storm and stone, because in terms of like how they're ordered, and you saw that those runes were the 6 runes that were like down the door when you first entered in that order. It's
Storm,
almost
cloud, stone, frost, fire, hill.
Yes. Okay. But as you kind of get close and kind of, do you put your hand up next to it or anything?
I'm still at the glass cylinders,
yeah,
right?
The glass cylinders that you see these runes sort of going around.
I don't really feel any inclination to try and touch anything.
Okay.
Unless I should.
No,
Do you want me to?
I don't want you to think that I want you to do...
Well, the way you pose the question tells me you want me to try and touch it. So I'm going to reach my hand up.
Okay.
And I'm going to touch the cloud rune.
Yeah, because when you put your hand up to this, you watch as the runes sort of coalesce towards you and get closer for you to actually be able to like potentially pick one out. Like they sort of weave around. Like, those plasma balls that when you put your hand on it, like the plasma...
energy, like the...
Yeah. It's drawn to like your fingers and stuff. These runes are drawn to where your hand is, and you watch as the one that you know to be the cloud rune, you put your hand there. Could you make a... I'm going to have you roll a spell check. So we're just going to have you roll your spell ability, which is your wisdom, with a d20. So this will be... It's going to be DC 20, because what is attempting to happen is going to be a bit tough as you touch the cloud rune.
Okay. 12.
12? Okay. So as you go and like all the runes are there sort of moving about, floating, and you go to the cloud rune and you touch it, you can feel the magic that seems to be floating through this cylinder. You can feel like there's an attempt to try and solidify that rune within this cylinder, and there's a moment where you think you have it, but then the magic sort of breaks off and scatters again, and the runes kind of break apart and then slowly start to like snow form back and float around in your space again. I
want to try again.
You want to try again?
I want to try again.
All right. Give it one more go. 16. You get closer this time, but you're not able to completely solidify the power of the room within this cylinder. Which, as you attempt that the second time, you start to hear scurrying of feet and something coming up the stairs from the other archway that seems to lead the opposite, or not the way you entered, but the other entrance. As you watch as these 3 strange sort of flea-like bipedal or quadrupedic monsters with big old tails and feelers kind of like as they kind of their feelers are like moving around. They see you pointing at you, and they start rushing at you. So I am going to need you to roll some initiative.
Great. Where's Migu?
Migu is on your back.
He's still on my back.
Migu is still on your back.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I should probably get a initiative thing going, huh? Oh no, I don't have one here. That's a problem. Well, it's okay. I will be right back. I gotta grab a thing. Sorry. I thought I was prepared. I was not.
Hey, Toby.
Luckily, I can cut all this time out. Here we are. Silly me. Okay, what did you roll?
4.
4. All right, and if you could also roll for Venn as well, he gets a +3 to his dex.
13.
Alrighty. And for these monsters, these strange flea-like creatures. Alright. So there, and then one here, or 2 goes here, and that's a natural 1 for the third one. So, as we go into combat, folks, as these strange flea-like creatures run up towards Basheer, and so at the top of the round, it is actually going to be Venn's turn, the lovely little young Behir that has become friends with Basheer. So, Alli, if you would be so kind as to roll, actually, I think as as 2 of them are running close in a line, you watch as Basheer reaches back, lightning starts to crackle in his mouth, and he launches down and like a fire hose, shoots out lightning at these monsters. I'm going to roll some dex saves, but would you be able to... Let's see. That's success. That's a failure. So number 1 is going to take half. Number 2 is going to take the full. So Alli, could you roll for me some 6d4? I'll give you some there so it's easier for you. As this lightning bolt just shot out.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 damage. 16
points of damage. So number 1 will take half that and take 8. And number 2 will take the full 16 as the lightning reaches out and arcs along their carapace hides, screaming out in strange bug flea noises, I guess. Number 1 is going to run up to you, Basheer.
Yep.
And is going to attempt to make a bite attack against you.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
Whoop.
So you watch as it runs past you and you dodge out of the way and it smacks itself into the glass tubing, sort of knocking the wind out of its sails for a moment. This other monster, number 2, is going to make a bite attack against Venn, and that's also a natural 1. It's been too electrocuted, and it's not able to figure out what it wants to. It cannot.
Disoriented.
It's very disoriented. Well, Basheer, it's your turn. You've got Migu on your back, and a big lightning noodle as a friend, and these 3 insectoid-like monsters in front of you, with number 1 being the closest, number 2 being right up next to your friend, and number 3 is lagging behind.
Great. Number 3 is the one that's taking the most damage.
Number 2, the one that is up against Venn.
Okay. I'm gonna attack number 2 with my scimitar.
With your scimitar? Okay.
Yeah.
Make an attack for me.
18.
18. That is a hit. Would you roll that damage for me?
4.
4 points of damage.
Yep.
All right. This thing is, you were able to get in and cut, and you're able to cut it pretty deeply, but you watch as you hit it with your scimitar, your blade starts to rust a little bit.
No.
As these are rust monsters.
No.
So
no metal.
No metal. And if you could put a -1 penalty to your damage roll on your scimitar for me, that would be great, as it has become rustier.
Okay, so normally my damage is 1d6 plus 2, so it's just going to be plus 1.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I'll have to figure out how to heal that.
Yeah, I would also just keep the negatives slightly separate.
Oh, I did. I kept my 2d6 plus 2, and then I just put a little -1.
Great. Perfect. Yeah. Because something could happen if it reaches a certain negative. Well, it is Rust Monster number 3's turn, and it is going to run up to you, Basheer, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as its antennas start to leap towards you, specifically towards your scimitar.
No! Okay, I'm making a dex. 14.
14, that is good. You're able to keep your scimitar away from its strange little feelery antennae. But now it is the top of the round, and it is Venn's turn. If you could roll a d6 for me. If you roll a 6, he gets his lightning breath back.
6!
Oh, damn. All right, well, do you want Venn to use his lightning breath again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go, little buddy.
I will say Venn will be able to hit Rust Monster number 2, which is really hurt, and Rust Monster number 3 as they are right up on you, and Rust Monster number 1 is still shaking off its head from hitting the glass. So I need to make a dexterity saving throw, and if you want to get these d4s ready again. Okay, those are both successes, but depending how much damage this is, it might still fry number 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
3 4s.
Yep. 4, 8, 12, 17, 18, 20 points of damage. So 10.
So 10 is the halved amount. That's really good. And you watch as Venn once again reaches back and lightning breathes out. It hits number 1. No, sorry. Number 3. 2 and 3. Thank you. Hits number 3, and the lightning crackles around, and you watch as it leaps onto number 2, and the lightning just shocks it and fries it, and it curls up and on its back and starts to kind of curl up like most insects do when they perish. So that is a dead Rust Monster. But now it is Rust Monster number 1's turn, and it's going to attempt another bite attack against our loved Venn, and that's a 5, and plus 3 does not hit Behir. So that's that turn. Basheer, it is now your turn.
Great. My quarterstaff is not metal.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have Shillelagh too as a bonus action.
Yes, so I'm going to Shillelagh quarterstaff and just sort of go to smush it like the bug that it is.
Yeah, you're gonna hit number
1.
Yes, number 1.
16 plus 5,
21. That is a hit.
Okay, 1d8. Where am I here? Plus 3. 4.
4 points of damage. I am so sorry.
Just got overexcited.
It did.
Smash, 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 smash. And just barely got it at all. Just kind of squished his little leggies.
Yes. All right, and then number 3 is gonna, now that's right itself, it's going to run at you and attempt to bite at you, and maybe this one will hit.
Nope.
No, 6 does not hit you. Back to the top of the round. It is Venn's turn again. If you'd like to roll a d6, and if you get
yes!
Oh my gosh.
Come on, buddy.
All right, well, let's do that breath attack again then, okay. Yeah? We'll say it's going to be able to hit both of these 2. They both save, okay. So they'll take half, but, you could still deal a ton of damage to them.
Ah, last one.
Oh, no.
That was a 4.
It's gotta be on the table.
No, but it was a 4 on the floor.
You have a 4 there,
4 on
and 2 2s equal 4, so...
I rolled a 4 again anyway. Okay.
All
right. So 4, 8, that's 12. Oh,
boy.
13, 15.
Okay, 15. Halved is...
You're gonna take 7? Did we round
7.
down?
Yeah, we round down. So 7 points of damage to each of them. They're both looking pretty hurt, though, I must say. They're not quite as dead yet, but they are definitely getting close.
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet. I can sing and dance. Well, that was Venn's turn with the third lightning breath. He's doing work. It is going to be Rust Monster number 1's turn. Is going to make the attack against Venn and actually hits. So Venn will take. Where's my D8? My red one. There it is. 1, 2 points of damage on good, sweet Venn there as it bites in, and Venn is able to sort of shake it off pretty easily. But now it is your turn, Basheer. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna attempt the shillelagh quarterstaff again and just try and smush him.
All right. Number 1 or number 3?
1.
All right.
That's gonna be a 21 again.
That is a hit.
It's gonna be 4 again.
Oh my gosh!
I rolled the exact same things.
Whew. But this, you hit it though, and you smack it really good, and it's hide is starting to crack a little bit with the lightning, and you're hitting it with your magical quarterstaff. But it is now Rust Monster number 3's turn, and it is going to force you to make a dexterity saving throw to try and get at your scimitar again, because it wants it.
Nat 20.
Okay, fine. You can keep your scimitar, I guess. As you're very easily able to dance out of the way. We're back to the top of the round again. It is Venn's turn. You want to roll that d6 again, see if you're going to be 3 for 3?
Yep.
You got to be kidding me. All right. This has the chance of literally probably killing these things. Let me roll the... and those are failures. This might be the thing that does it, folks.
Okay, here we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 points of damage. Yeah. Alli, do you want to describe what it looks like when Venn completely just roasts these 2 last rust monsters?
Yeah, so similar to what you described with like the electric orb thing. Like you can just see the electricity crackling through like every little crevice of their bodies, and they start to like hover off the ground a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
And like all of their legs are extended, and then they just sort of hit the ground.
Beautiful. Man, wow, Venn did some work in that.
Yeah,
fight.
really, Basheer did nothing. And Basheer sort of looks around and is like, oh, hey, nice job there, little guy. Good job. Thanks. Yeah, good job.
Mat. So, yeah, that happened. But now you essentially are able to at least have free reign of this room. If you want to attempt the pillar again, or if you want to continue on going down, you are more than welcome to as well.
Yeah, let's try this pillar one more time.
All right. I should have said this before, but if you'd like, since you didn't use any spell slots in this fight, if you'd like to expend any of spell slots to grant yourself a bonus to the roll, based on the level that spell used, you can. So you get a +1 added to your roll for a first level spell slot, +2 if you use a second, or +3, so on. If you'd like to, since you didn't expend.
Yeah, I'll do a level 1.
A level. All right, so you'll be the 20 plus your wisdom +1 for expending that spell.
Now I can't roll well. I can roll well in combat, but okay. So that's 7. So
yeah.
not happening. All right. I'm real tired.
That's
you
fair.
Can't concentrate.
You
Let's
can't.
just keep going. Come on, little buddy.
Okay. So you head on down farther below. As you continue on, you start to smell rot. It seems like whatever in this room below is probably more organic, and you can smell that sort of sweet, sickly, rotting, fungal, moldy smell. And as you go down, you can see there is some light here, and it's mainly from phosphorescent or just like glowing fungus and such. And you can see, it seems like this storage room, what this room used to be, was a storage room. So you can see various crates and barrels seems to have been broken and now are covered in various
fungi.
What? Yes, wow, fungus and mold. And you can kind of see the spores floating through the air. But you also see something in the back, something shiny and glittering within the large areas of mold and such. If you'd like to go check that out, you're more than welcome to.
Yes, I would like to go check it out.
All right. If you could, though, could you make a Constitution saving throw as you're walking through these spores and things?
12.
12. Okay.
Should I roll for Migu also?
Oh, yes, I believe we should. Hold on, I have his stats right here. If you could roll, it's just a straight roll.
19.
Okay, Migu.
Migu's fine.
Oh,
he's actually he's very excited about the smell.
Yes.
Of all the organic material.
Migu will eat just about anything.
Yeah.
And then if you could roll another d20 and add 2 for me.
13.
All right, cool. Venn is also safe from the sort of slightly toxic spores that are sort of in the air. Give me one moment. I'm trying to get to a thing. Because I was like, yeah, I'll do this. Why not? I just don't know how to get through pages quicker than a PDF. There probably is an easier way, but oh well. And we're almost there. Good thing I wrote which page this is on. All right, so as you get closer to this, these shiny things, can you make a perception check for me? 17. Just before you get too close, you notice that whatever this sort of glittery thing is, it seems that there is a patch of yellow mold on it, which you know from being out and about in nature. It's a rather poisonous mold that generally will inject some rather nasty spores, worse than the ones that are currently floating around you at the moment. Which, could you make a nature check for me?
It's a 19 plus 4, so 23.
All right. You know that yellow mold can be destroyed by any amount of sunlight or fire.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, will destroy a patch of yellow mold.
Great. I produce flame.
All right. And you chuck it at this little patch of mold, and your little elemental calcifer-like mote of flame goes, whee! And as you go down to look at this, it seems like the shiny objects beneath said mold were 3 more of those giant gold coins. As well as it seems something that looks to be of some sort of diamond-shaped crystal, kind of like a smaller version of that one that was in the door frame that came out and kind of scanned you and asked you Venn or Uven. So.
Okay. Can I... I'm trying to decide if it's worth it to use detect magic in this space.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Before I pick anything up or touch it, I would like to use detect magic.
Yeah, you cast detect magic, and what does detect magic feel like or look like, or for Basheer? Does it like his eyes glow and he just sees magic, or is it like he smells magic? Like how does it affect?
Yeah,
Basheer?
I imagine it's kind of like
Oh my goodness. Yes. So as you do your detect magic black light, you do see that this little diamond shape seems to have like a small sort of weak pulse of magic to it. It seems to be sort of a combination of divination style magic, maybe some illusion magic in it as well, but also your eyes sort of, or you also get another ping of some sort of magic, and it seems to be in the shape of like a book of sorts, that also seems to be close by within this patch of mold.
Great. I pocket the coins in the crystal.
Okay, so as you go to the crystal and you pick it up, you notice that there is a slightly decaying skeletal humanoid hand that was holding on to it as well. So as you pick it up, you see it there and it kind of slumps down and you kind of follow it, and it seems to be like slightly covered in the mold or the remains of whatever clothing and its skeletal head, I guess, is gone, but you can see that there apparently was a body right here.
I don't want to steal from a dead body.
But you do see that the magical book is apparently close by to this person.
Great. I gently like set the crystal back down undisturbed in this hand. But I do pocket the coins.
Okay.
And I make my way over to the book.
Okay. So you're able to pick up the book, and you can see it is close by the other skeletal hand of this humanoid individual.
They have a really long wingspan, or are they?
No, like it's pretty like it's just like how it's just kind of laying down like dead, sort of a thing, and yeah, it seems that even though the clothes on this individual's body and all the other stuff around here has deteriorated, it seems like this book has somehow survived most of the passing of time. And as you open it up, you can see this tome has various arcane calculations and theories in it, which suggests that this individual must have been a wizard of some sort. But you also, as you go to sort past the spell stuff, you do find that part of his spell book, I guess he started writing it as a journal. And what I have written below is what is legible. But we'll get to what's in the book in a second. We're going to take a little break, folks, and then Alli/Basheer is going to read a dead wizard's journal. Ooh. Ooh. All right, see you in a bit. Hi, folks. Welcome to the mid-break. I hope you're enjoying this second bonus episode with myself and Alli. I just want to give a little update on the channel, is that there will be one more main episode with my brothers and I after this one, and then hopefully, if time allows, one more bonus episode finishing out this little mini arc with Alli. And then after that, there will be a little Q&A sort of wrap-up session with my brothers for this sort of first arc season, whatever you'd like to call it. And then it'll probably be a little bit of time, and then we'll hop into the second arc with my brothers. Yeah. So, anyway, let's get back to this episode. Welcome back, folks. We're back with Alli as Basheer, currently looking through the journal and spellbook of some long-dead wizard who got into this ruin of sorts somehow. So, Basheer, or I should really say Alli, question for you. I have written down what the notes are that Basheer is about to read. Would you like me to read them to you, or would you like to read them out loud yourself?
I will read them out loud myself.
All right, I'm going to turn my laptop around, I will say, in terms of this is basically how you're able to read it. Is there, even though the book has survived molding, there's still some. The book has only survived so much of the notes and ellipses, just where things start and end are legible, and then the backslashes are the moving on to other parts that are legible.
Okay.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm. We're starting right here?
Yeah, starting at Expedition.
Expedition to Blue Mountains to explore uncovered giant age ruins has been delayed due to trouble hiring experienced mountaineers to take us up to the My colleague and I have discussed that if we find even a hint of what we are looking for, that an accident might befall our hired help. Oh no. The ruins are grander than even we could have anticipated. Giant ruins never before translated. Line the this combination indicates. Okay, well that was a convenient place to lose some words. I believe we. Okay. My eyes have finally adjusted from the flash of light. Okay, it was in our grasp, but now I seem to be elsewhere. Teleportation seems to have been the cause. I must explore my new surroundings. Interesting. Okay. The runes I combined seem to have created a small serpent-like creature. Okay. Small crystal might hold knowledge. Might hold knowledge, perhaps. Must find exit. Okay. Interesting. So perhaps the runes created our little friend. I don't know that I like this wizard very much.
Well, he's dead. Or she, they.
They're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah. I don't like this, our hired help might befall an accident if we find what we're looking for. That feels
quite sinister.
A little shady. Yeah, a little shady.
Indeed. Well, now that you know what you know, or at least sort of know a little bit more, what's Basheer thinking in this moment?
Basheer kind of like takes a little stealthy peek over at Venn.
Who I will say at this moment is kind of like digging at some of the fungus and like getting at some of the like glowing mushrooms and being like nom 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 and eating them.
I'm sort of scoping out the room, looking for like anything that might indicate that it's a facilitator of teleportation.
Make an investigation check for me.
Not very good. 6.
As you kind of look around this old wreckage of a storage room, you're not able to really see anything that might indicate a, space of teleportation or like a circle of sorts. And it seems like where there might have been a door or like a doorway into another room below this one, it seems like a lot of the walls have been kind of crushed, and it seems that however this thing was wound up where it did, it seems lower levels got so damaged where you can't even get to them anymore, at least by just simply walking down to them. You would need maybe a bit more equipment to try and get to any further level below this, but
yes, my woodcarver's tools might not be quite enough.
No, sadly not. Sadly not.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Can I take the book? Great. So I pocket the book. And I would like to further investigate the room.
Okay. Do you want to pick up the small crystal?
No, that's going to stay with the dead hand grasping it. Actually, you know what? No, because I don't like this guy, so I'm going to take it.
Okay. Got it. So you took the wizard's spell book with his journal and also the small crystal that he was holding, which I say the small crystal is reminiscent of the one that you saw here. So it has a similar like shape and texture of that large one that scanned you. It almost is like a miniature version of that. what purpose it serves, you're not sure, but it definitely emanates with some magic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I pluck it from those cold, dead, bony fingers.
All right. You want to keep exploring this room?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me another investigation check. Or, you know what? Or nature or survival. Something along those lines.
Okay.
Since it's
I'm going to do survival.
Okay.
So that's a 14.
14. While going through, you're able to find like a good handful of, let's say, like 5 mushrooms that are very useful in the creation of making potions, like little minor healing potions that seem to have grown here. You can, if you like, take some of the phosphorescent mushrooms that could be useful in other potion making, like potions that have phosphorescence to them. My brain like completely just like lost my train of thought there. But essentially you get about 5 mushrooms that can be used to create potions of healing, and then as many phosphorescent mushrooms as you feel necessary for, you know, they can be used for potions, or they can honestly are safe enough to eat. We'll say that if they're eaten, they make your tongue glow for like an hour. Because that sounds fun.
Does sound fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I will take like a handful of those too.
Okay, so let's say 5.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good handful of mushrooms. All right. Well, since sadly there's no further way to go down, I guess you go back up.
Guess we go back up.
Yeah. Anything you like to do as you head out of this ruined giant keep or tower?
I'm gonna attempt these tubes one more time.
You're intrigued now that you have an idea of what they might do.
I know. I might be able to create organic life.
Might be. All right. Well, if you want to use up another spell slot, you are more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a level 2 spell slot.
All right. Cool. So you'll have your wisdom plus 2 for the second level, and you know the DC is 20. I'll give you advantage. See if,
Nat 20.
maybe I shouldn't have given you advantage. It's fine. All right, let me just go back in my notes. Okay, so what you're gonna still focus on that cloud rune?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you watch as the cloud rune, you are able to, and you focus your energy, and you actually get it to solidify almost and stick, and then you watch as this sort of the rune sort of expands around it, and then it sucks in, and suddenly within this sort of liquid, energy is just like surging through it and sort of like morphing and blorbing and doing all sorts of stuff. So that's one of these cylinders. Do you want to do it to one of the other 2?
Yep.
Okay. I will, since you got that natural 20, I'm going to let you pick 2 more runes for the other 2.
Okay.
Because then there's going to be an additional check to be made to essentially combine the 3.
Interesting. Okay, cloud.
So sky rune, cloud.
Yeah. Let's do stone.
Stone. Okay, so cloud, stone. All right.
And hill.
Cloud, stone, and hill. Okay. So you watch as all these runes have done that thing. So the energy is there. So like sort of this literally like grayish white energy from cloud. You see this sort of darker gray energy from the stone, and you see this sort of greenish brown color from the hill. Now you watch as like that. You watch as the circular glass area beneath you, which is like sort of the water beneath, starts to glow as well, and you can feel energy sort of pulsing and going towards the center of this sort of glass circle, sort of in that same feeling like this is where you have to then put your next bit of energy. So I need you to make one last check. It's going to be another DC 20. This is either an Arcana or a Nature check to try and attempt to combine these energies. You can also do the same thing with the spells if you'd like to give yourself a bonus.
Yeah, I'll do another second level. So I've got a +2 there.
Okay.
And then I have a +4 to nature.
Okay, so
+6.
+6 to this roll.
Okay.
DC is 20 again.
That's 7 plus a 6, so 13.
13. That is all right. So you watch as these energies.
I just gonna keep rolling worse and worse.
Oh no!
So like, don't you fret.
I understand.
Sometimes you just gotta see.
No, I know. I understand. So you watch as these energies, that you start to feel it and send some of your spell energy and trying to like connect these 3 runic magics together, and they sort of coalesce and start to morph and form, and you watch as various forms start to try and like, form out of this energy as it like tries to create wings or claws and teeth, and everything just sort of starts going, and you feel your energy, but then you start to lose it, and it starts to distract you as you're watching this thing form beneath. Like, you are literally trying to create life of sorts, and you lose the focus and like kind of pull away, and you watch as this massive energy starts to like undulate in different colors, and then it like stops and just becomes this gray mass.
Oh no.
That starts to that just starts to float there, and you watch as you can start to feel like as the glass starts to open and to go, and the liquid starts to drain.
Oh no.
And you start leaving, and you watch as there's this just gray mass there, which then starts to like move itself.
No.
As well, you didn't create. You created life. It just doesn't have too much shape, but you did create a gray ooze.
A gray ooze.
Yes. It seems, in terms of failing this attempt, these energies coalesced into an ooze.
Are ooze sentient?
Sentient in the fact that they have very much a want of just to feed. And basically, like a gelatinous cube?
Yeah.
You basically created not exactly a gelatinous cube, but an ooze creature. So it is that. So it's sentient. The idea is that you weren't able to create a solid creature, but you created something.
Yeah, I guess I asked because I need to know what my responsibility is to this ooze.
Well, it starts to just kind of let me kind of read a little thing about gray ooze. It just like kind of starts to slither like a snake, as it seems it's just like feeling the area around it, and you get the sense that it is like searching for like food.
Can I roll perception for how Venn is reacting to this?
Yeah, or even an insight check.
Or insight? Yeah, okay. I have a +3 to both, so. 8. So close to an 18.
You definitely see Venn kind of looking and just like has a cocked head, but you can't tell if it's just like as quizzical about this or even understands sort of what has happened.
Yeah.
And if you could why don't you roll a nature or survival check for me?
Okay.
And I'll give you advantage on it.
Great, thank you. 21.
So you seeing this ooze creature, that oozes are something that people have talked about and have appeared in the wild before. But you get the feeling that maybe some of the oozes that exist in the world and other creatures that exist in the world might be because of whatever this experiment is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that maybe the oozes that are found within dungeons and other parts of the world
here.
potentially might be failed experiments of these giants.
Yeah, I guess what I'm really trying to think through is like, is this an evil thing that I need to like take care of before I leave? Can I just like let it do its thing in here and just leave it behind, or do I have some sort of parental obligation to this ooze and I need to take it with me somehow?
Well, you get the sense that this thing is very much based on just an instinct of wanting to sort of just survive, like a survival instinct. So it just kind of goes and like seems to be searching for food of some sort. And it's possible that like this thing will survive. There is organic material down below that it can feed on. There's stuff that it will survive, and I don't want to say give it a chance to, that you should keep it for you, because keeping this sort of ooze, it will see you as food as well.
Right. I guess that's my thing, is like it doesn't really know the difference between like me trying to help it versus it just having its single focus of like, I just need to consume. And I don't know what type of damage it does, and like I don't want to put Migu at risk. So I'm gonna take those phosphorescent mushrooms that I collected, and I'm gonna like right in front of its nose, like its quote unquote nose, whatever part of it is leading, I'm gonna drop them and create a trail that goes back down that it can find its way easily to where the organic material is that it can consume, and like it can hang out down there.
I like that. Yes, I like that a lot. Yes, so you watch this, it sort of slithers. It's moving slowly enough because it's like figuring it out, but you're able to kind of put it down. It kind of smells you and starts to kind of go towards you, but I imagine you get a little set up, and before it has a chance to really address you as a food source, it starts to go to the mushrooms, and then it goes down, and you watch as it sort of slithers down and away as it smells the other organic material below.
Okay, great.
Yes,
I feel okay about that decision.
I think that was a good decision.
It's like, I have a sense of responsibility to this thing that I created. It didn't ask to be created, and I don't want to keep it, so like I need to do something about this. Fair.
So yeah, you Basheer created life.
Huh. Kind of look at Venn. All right, little buddy. Let's go. Yeah. And Migu's like, hey. Migu's just along for the ride.
Totally. So yeah, as you eventually find your way up and out, it is definitely much later in the day. It would take you a good hour to even get back to your fellow herder and the herd. So as the sun is sort of setting, what does Basheer do?
We're up at the top of the hill, and I can sort of like see in the distance my herd, and like they're all making their way in for the night, and I look off in the other direction, and I don't know what I see over there.
Well, let's see. What direction is your herd in?
To the south.
To the south. So north. You look north, and you can see way far in the distance, over some more of the hills, sort of the very tip and faded, sort of what's the term? It's where things that are farther away start to like, become a little hazy and atmospheric. I can't remember. But you see way back in the north, you can see the Blue Mountains, just kind of, off in that hazy sort of foggy distance that happens, and as like the golden light of the sun sort of shines on, you just kind of wonder, what it was maybe this wizard and his companions found that sent him all the way to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you set up camp
Yep,
with
on
your
the
new
hill.
friend Venn and Migu, and this strange little magical crystal in your hand. Who knows what sort of knowledge it might hold.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you for joining us on bonus episode number 2. I'm excited to do potentially maybe one more of these bonus episodes to sort of figure out what Basheer is going to do with all this new knowledge that he has.
Half knowledge.
Half knowledge. All right, folks. We'll see you later. Bye. Well, that concludes this second bonus episode of our podcast. If you'd like to support us, don't forget to like, rate, leave a review, share with a friend, or, any and all of the above in regards to the podcast. If you are interested in sending us any questions about the podcast or just anything, good words, bad words, you can send us an email at awipdndpodmail@gmail.com, and that's spelled out awipdndpodmail@gmail.com. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at A Work in Progress D&D Podcast, at awipdndpod. I also want to obviously give an incredible shout out to Alli for joining me in these little bonus episodes. I will be linking her website and such information down in the show notes below. You should really go check out all of her work that she does for theater and youth and intimacy directing, and it would help us out immensely as well. And thank you all so much for listening. I'm excited to sort of finish up this arc with my brothers and even this bonus series with Alli, and get ready to start diving in a little bit more into what I have planned for the second arc of the whole podcast. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.